Good morning, everyone. I'm so grateful that you're here, and so grateful for my technician of the day, Deb Dole. We're working with some new procedures, and we're grateful she's here. So right now, why don't we start with some wonderful music and sing along with Amber Darlin.
Don't you love that when the camera just pans to you and you're, here you are! Oh, we love technology, and we're so glad you're here today. Let's sing When You Believe. Anything is possible when you believe. You know anything is possible when you believe. And you can make a mountain move when you believe. You know you can make a mountain move when you believe. Don't you know you can change your life when you believe? Don't you know that you can change your life when you believe in yourself? Let's sing that together. In yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe, oh, we're gonna make a miracle when you believe. You know we're gonna make a miracle when you believe. And everything you want, you got when you believe. You know everything you want, you got when you believe in yourself, in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe, 'cause I believe in me, and I believe in you. We believe in each other. There ain't nothing we can't do. Na 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 na. I said I believe in me, and I believe in you. We believe in each other. There ain't nothing we can't do. Oh, anything is possible when we believe. I believe it. Do you? Sing it out. Anything is possible when we believe in yourself, when you believe in all of us, when you believe in peace and love, when you believe, yeah. Oh, that was fun. Thanks for singing along. Take a minute if you're on social media. We love it when you shout out to some of our friends in our spiritual community. Let us know you're out there. We miss all your shining faces. Let's sing this together. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 Let's welcome our practitioner of the day for an invocational prayer.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrea Wood, and I'm the practitioner of the day. I welcome you and I invite you into prayer. I know and celebrate that we live and breathe and have our being in spirit. Spirit is all there is. This one is a vast, unlimited source of compassion, love, and power. In this one, I remember my connection and live in a state of trust. Thought is creative, and what I choose will determine my life and build a bridge of love and compassion to all. I open my heart to support and help from Spirit. As we come together this morning, virtually, I celebrate this day. I celebrate and appreciate our CSL community. I am grateful for the power to choose to express the deepest love and compassion to myself and to all. I find peace and clarity in knowing this truth. Thank you, Spirit. I release my word, knowing it is done, and so it is.
Not me. It's Amber next. Deb.
Here I am. Thank you, Deb. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. Let's sing that again. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are my family. You are the face of love. I'm going to do just a quick little tuning here because I really want my harmonica to be in tune with my guitar. So I'm going to do that while you all, if we were at CSL right now, the band would kind of be tinkering around while I get my stuff together. But I just want to be sure that you can really enjoy this next song. Andrea, Dr. Andrea Asebedo, our wonderful minister, she chose a topic today that's bridge and how we can be a bridge. And I thought that this song was appropriate for that. I'd gladly walk across a desert with no shoes upon my feet to share with you the last bite of bread I had to eat. I would swim out to save you in your sea of broken dreams. When all your hopes are sinking, let me show you what love means. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? I would whisper love so loudly every heart would understand. But love and only love can join the hearts of man. I would give my heart's desire so that you might see. The first step is to realize it all begins with you and me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Sing with me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? We're going to move on over to Andrea for the message
Andrea
of the day.
and Amber, wonderful. You've got an A Sunday. Andrea, and Amber. I wanted to tell you a story that happened to me recently that has to do with what I wanted to speak about. Joe and I really love to go walking and looking at birds and things. So we decided to go someplace here that we had never gone before. And it was down on Whidbey Island. And we were in this old growth forest. And it was very boggy in certain areas. And as we're walking along, you know, one of the reasons we go to these places is there's usually not a lot of people. So we're walking along and we come to this area that's clearly like a bog, or an original bog probably. And what do we find? But we find that this athletic club had built a bridge across part of the bog to get us from one stable area of ground to another one over this sort of mushy, watery place. Very grateful for that. And we walked along, and here was another one, and we walked along, and here was another one. And we were very supported by the bridges that this athletic club had, you know, clearly spent time not only building this bridge, this little footbridge, but also decking it with stuff that was making it so that we wouldn't slip. So it was great. And so today's talk is on Create the Bridge. And it has to do with one of the Dalai Lama's favorite meditations by an ancient practitioner of Buddhism called Shantideva. And Shantideva has a bodhisattva vow, Bodhisattvas are people that have made the commitment to, in Buddhist mythology, they're the ones that have made a commitment not to leave human incarnation, life after life, until everyone has become enlightened. And so Shantideva was one of those. And part of what the Dalai Lama meditates on a daily basis is this line. This is only part of it. May I be a guard for those who need protection, a guide for those on the path, a boat, a raft, a bridge for those who wish to cross the flood, a lamp in the darkness, a resting place for the weary. Now, I don't know about you, but when I encounter, may I be a boat, a raft, a bridge for those who wish to cross the flood, a lamp in the darkness, my limited sense of self kind of goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know. I can't do that. That's like, you mean for millions and billions of humans and trillions of species, be the one? But that's looking at it from a personality perspective. And instead, when we begin to look at it as an intention of the heart, we realize that we actually can create that bridge that Shantideva is talking about. And that the Dalai Lama is a great example of someone who has built a bridge of the heart so that millions of people, more than at any time in Tibetan Buddhism, have the encouragement, the smile of that man. There are people in Tibet with hidden altars with his picture on it that they look at as a way to remind themselves of the truth of what is. And all over the world, there are those of us who are taking encouragement, including this morning, from a man who has made an intention of the heart to build a bridge, to create a bridge, so that those who wish to cross the flood of difficult news, difficult circumstances, atrocious and awful experiences can find a way. Just like Joe and I found a way in that old growth forest because someone had the kindness to build that footbridge. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit and talk a little bit about the flood. As you know from listening to me, I make it a point not to inundate myself with news for a couple of reasons. One, I'm very aware as a retired therapist that flooding the neuronet with images and ideas that are negative and doing that repeatedly builds neuronet pathways in my brain that I don't think I really want to live there. So there's that. From a spiritual perspective, I view what I take in with my senses as a form of nourishment. And as we all know, there is nourishment that can be supportive of health, mental, spiritual, emotional health, as well as physical health. And there is nourishment that is detrimental. And much of what I see in social media, in the great realms that surround us, that flood us with all sorts of information, is that much of it is not beneficial. And so I choose very carefully what I focus on. And so it's easier for me because of that to be aware of the flood of information, but not drowned in it, not feel like I'm sinking with it. And I encourage you to consider this because it really is a choice we make, how much we allow ourselves to be inundated with news, particularly news that's repetitive, that's the same images, the same message, the same stuff. I'm not willing to do that, you know. You and I are smart cookies. We don't need to hear it over and over and over and over. We got it the first time, right? So creating a bridge over this flood of difficulties that sacred humans and all life forms are having right now is, for me, an act of intention. It's an intention of the heart. And I was thinking about it, and I actually made, I don't know if you can see this, but I made a mind map because I had so many ideas coming to me about what to say to you. So for me, one of the things that my intention has to do with is looking deeply into my own consciousness and those that are around me, building a bridge to what I might have until recently thought of as other, you know, the other. And sacred humans are really good at making people other, you know, clans, tribes, wars, economic injustice, racism, environmental destruction are all coming out of an understanding, an illusion really, of separateness. There's me and there's everything else. And that's actually not the truth of how we are here. In fact, the biologist Lewis Thomas said that the driving force in nature on this kind of planet, in this sort of biosphere, is cooperation. And you see that cooperation in the natural world all over the place. There's not only cooperations, there's symbiosis. There's a process of marrying one species to another or one type of plant to another so that both are benefited. And so cooperation is actually how the biosphere runs. And we're part of that. But because we have the element of choice, we can certainly choose an illusion of separateness and begin to back away from the connectedness that we actually, in truth, are supported by 24/7. We wouldn't exist without the cooperation of all the plants and the sun and the rain and the earth for our food. We wouldn't exist with all of the luxuries and things like this beautiful camera of mine and whatever you're viewing this from. We wouldn't exist without literally thousands and thousands and thousands of interconnected cooperations happening all the time. So because the illusion of separateness has many people in its grip, one of the ways that we can begin to create the bridge is by practicing the science of mind philosophy, which, you know, in our day is often called a liberation theology, because its ideas are built on the truth that there is no separation between anything and anyone, that we are living in an interconnected way with all of life. And when we begin to appreciate that, things change. Long ago, Mother Teresa said, you know, the problem for the world is that we've drawn our family circle too small. She was witnessing the same thing, that we need to widen the circle of our compassion, widen the circle of our understanding of how interconnected we are. And the one big difficulty for me, I don't know about you, is fear. And anger too, but I want to talk about fear a little bit, because fear is actually what drives the illusion of separateness between one sacred human and another. The fear that the other will somehow be harmful or hurtful or, you know, in some way take away what is ours is what often drives our idea of other. And so in this time, I'm very aware that there's a lot of I don't even want to call it dialogue. There's a lot of monologue going on about how the other is stealing this or taking that or whatever. And I know that a lot of you are feeling the weight, the sort of the sinking from this terrible delusion of separateness and otherness that is being promulgated worldwide, but also in our country in a vast way. And so I wanted to talk about how to create a bridge to other, to people that maybe don't think the same way you do or I do, people who have a different view of economics or politics or environment. How do we create a bridge, and how do we sustain that bridge so that there can be travel between the two sides, so that the sides become unified? I've really been thinking about this, and I bet you have too. And so I was listening to a talk. I don't know if you've heard of the Pachamama Alliance, but one of our community members is a part of that alliance. And she said, you know, you really should watch this one talk by Dr. Deborah Johnson, who's minister of Inner Light Ministries, and she used to be a Science Mind person. And so I did. I listened to this talk, and Dr. Deborah, Dr. D as she's called, was talking about what I'm talking about, which is creating a bridge. And she had some really interesting thoughts that I thought I would share with you. The number one thought that she offered up about creating this bridge between, let's say, you're Zooming with your family and you've got some really divergent views politically or economically or about Black Lives Matter or all the different things that are up for our society. So her thought and my thought is that if you've ever watched a bridge being constructed, what happens first is that there is this tremendous work to drive the foundation of that bridge, the pilings of that bridge, down deep into bedrock. So each side of a bridge may have different elements that the people that are building the bridge have to work with. So on one side of the bridge, the ground may be extremely hard and difficult to drive anything into. And so the work there, using the metaphor of this, is to work with encrusted judgments, to work with hardened hearts, to work with anger and fear that has actually encapsulated any ability to look beyond the view that is being held. So on that side, there needs to be some softening, some work with maybe forgiveness or compassion or the ability to drop judgment so that another person can be heard. But on the other side of the bridge, there's equally other elements that may be needed to work for the bedrock to be found. Maybe on that side of the bridge, everything's all squishy and everything's all loose, and to really hit bedrock, there's a lot of strengthening that has to happen. So certainly in that scenario, using it as a metaphor, there would be a strengthening of self-compassion and the ability to stand firm in our own intention of the heart to be a bridge, to be a place of healing. And any squishiness of fear or doubt or wanting to run when hardened things come our way needs to be kind of strengthened so that we can hold firm and fast in the bedrock of our intention. And a bridge, interestingly enough, I've watched enough of them be built. The bridge, both sides have to hit bedrock and develop a foundation, and then they begin to be built up and meet in the middle. It's not like you can build the span without those first elemental things happening. And so for me, I then asked myself the question, well, all right, I don't know if I'm hardened or I'm too squishy or some other kind of metaphor, but what I do know is in order for me to hit bedrock, the bedrock of my intention of the heart, to be the bridge that is offered out for people who wish to cross the flood, one of the things that I must do is I must make sure that I am grounding myself in the bedrock of my being. And so I wanted to offer some spiritual practices that have helped me. I know you hear about this a lot from me, but in this particular time, when there's a flood happening, when there's a darkness that we can actually viscerally feel sometimes, to be a light in a lamp in that darkness, to be a bridge across that flood, requires spiritual practice on a daily basis. And so what are the ones that I use? Well, it took me a long time with this first one. I didn't, as a younger person, understand what was being pointed to. And now I really do. And so the first one is self-compassion. Self-compassion. And the way that it was taught to me in the early days of our movement, our philosophy is you have to love yourself before you can love anybody else. And that just didn't make any sense to me, because I could love other people and still find myself unlovable. But what they were pointing to was a capacity, kind of like a huge tank. And they were pointing to the capacity of a huge tank. And if we do not have compassion for the self, it's like we've rigged up this really narrow neck on that tank. And only a certain amount of what is possible for that tank to hold can get in. And so, likewise, only a certain amount can get out. And so, of course, in real terms, the tank is quantum. There's an infinite, unlimited supply of compassion and love. But if I don't hold it for myself, it's much more difficult for me to offer it to others, to build a bridge. So over time, I began to learn the importance, the value of beginning at least to have compassion for the self. And I have a couple practices listed here. One of the first ones that helped me, Eric O'Dell, who at that point was the music director at CSL Seattle, and then started his own work, Amazing Grace, and now has retired. He wrote a song called Namaste. And of course, Namaste, the meaning of Namaste is the God in me beholds the God in you. Well, our music director in Reading at the CSL there brought that song back, and we sang it on a regular basis and began to not only sing it to one another, but bow to one another, to the God that we beheld in the other. And what was interesting is that the more I did that, the more I realized that it was true. Certainly, I'd always known it was true for others, but I began to feel it was true in me as well. And a whole new level, capacity of self-compassion began to be born. So Namaste still is a practice that I can do silently without bowing whenever I find myself anywhere. And for me at this point, it's a bridge. It's building a bridge in consciousness wherever I might find myself. So I often find myself saying Namaste in places like Costco or Trader Joe's, or places where there's a tendency for people who are still immersed in the illusion of separateness to show up and to act as though they were the only people in the entire world that were important. And so whenever I meet anybody like that, I'm sure you've met people like that. You maybe, like me, have been like that sometimes. Namaste, namaste. The other thing that I do on a regular basis is the loving kindness meditation. There are literally about 1 million different versions of that. You can find it everywhere. And so you pick the one that's the most potent for you. So that's what I've been doing, is picking the one that really speaks to my heart. And always with loving kindness meditations, the intention is to start with yourself first, offering loving kindness to yourself first. And when I first began to do that, that was a real revelation and an insight into the places that were still closed off to loving self, to loving this incredible sacred human experience that I am, that you are. So loving kindness. So the first spiritual practice, self-compassion, namaste, and loving kindness meditation. The second spiritual practice that I do a lot of actually for myself is forgiveness forgiveness. And there are so many practices of forgiveness. I wrote down Ho'oponopono, which is a really powerful practice that's taken from shamanic Hawaiian practices. And even though it is taken from them, it is amazing the power of that practice to open the heart and forgive self, and therefore able to forgive others. And I also wrote down something that here at our center we celebrate, which is the perfection-free zone. And what is that? Well, that is the understanding that we are all doing the very best we can in every single moment, including us, you, me, perfection-free zone. And so when we screw up or we make a mistake, that's the time to bring up that understanding that, we can do better, but right now we are in a perfection-free zone where we don't beat ourselves up and make ourselves wrong and operate from a rigid point of non-forgiveness with ourselves or others. And the last practice that I wrote down is called inner quiet. And inner quiet is a practice of meditation, prayer, spiritual study, anything that gets us to the point where the internal dialogue has calmed down a bit. You know, that internal dialogue, the one that's running in the background right now. Even if you wanted to pay attention to it, you could hear the yada, yada, yada of it. And so the practices of meditation, prayer, spiritual study are practices that calm that internal dialogue down a little bit, turn the volume down on it, so that we can be in a place of inner silence, inner quiet. And why is that important? I remember Thich Nhat Hanh telling a story about this. He would take a big boat out into the Sea of Siam when Vietnamese refugees were fleeing Vietnam, and they would be in these overcrowded little boats, and they were preyed upon by pirates, and also in great danger from different storms that would brew up in the Sea of Siam because the boats were overcrowded. And what Thich Nhat Hanh would say about this is he would say, if everyone panicked, then the boat would be lost. But if just one person remained calm and centered, they would be okay. And I've always thought of that story whenever a storm brews in my own life. And I've used these practices to calm the storm as much as I can. Sometimes there's some pretty fierce storms that sweep through our beingness. So it's not always effective, but a lot of the time this inner quiet allows me to kind of root myself down into the bedrock I was talking about so that I can remain steady. And that's the point of creating the bridge, is to create a spiritual steadiness within our own being, a deep down bedrock feeling of solidity, so that we can be the bridge that is offered out into the world. The intention of our heart can be clear and can support others, just like the Dalai Lama does on the world stage. We can do that in our own circle of influence, simply by being grounded and deeply held by the bedrock of our intent. So there it is, and I'm going to do a prayer for that and then tell you a little bit about what's going on at the center. So please join me in this. And know with me as I know. The bedrock of all being dwells within each of us. It is the solid depth experience of spirit present within me, and I know that the same presence is within you. It is a vast field of possibility and truth. It knows no separation, experiences no separation, no matter what the human mind does. And I am grounded in this understanding of interbeing, interconnectedness with all life. And because of this, because I am grounded in this, my awareness opens to embrace all of life as part of my life. I draw the family circle wide, and I experience all beings, all species in the biosphere as my family. And because of this, I am motivated to live from a place of deep intention, intentionally using resources, intentionally speaking my truth, intentionally holding others in the light of love and compassion, including self. And this intention is the bedrock of my own being and spirit. And I am supported in this intention by a law of cause and effect that says yes. So I have a hearty yes to live this way. And I am grateful for every single moment that that intention is being made manifest through me. I know that it is the light in my own life. May it be a light in someone else's as well. In gratitude for the law operating on this intention now and always, I release my word and it is done. Ashe. And so it is. All right. So I want to tell you a few things and then we'll take you over to Amber for a closing song. So our Giving Intention program is over, and thank you to all who have donated so far, given us their intention for 2021. We were seeking to raise $178,000. We didn't quite make our goal, but we're getting there. If you have forgotten that December 1st was the goal for us to have all forms in, we're leaving the Giving Intention form up on our website, and we'd love you to take a moment, go to the website, and let us know your intention for the new year, for 2021, how much you think you can give. And every level is important. Even if you choose, $5, which would buy you a grande or a venti latte at a coffee house, and that's what you can give to the center. Every single dollar matters to us. So thank you ahead of time for anything that you can do. We're doing some wonderful things here at the center, and we're offering out the intention of our heart to build a bridge to you so that you don't feel isolated and you feel connected to our community. Whether you're watching and this is your first time experiencing Center for Spiritual Living Bellingham, or if you're an old timer who's been coming for years, we want to make sure you feel connected and that you can feel the intention of our hearts. So here's a couple of things you might want to be a part of. If you're an early riser, at 7 a.m., Monday through Friday, our licensed practitioners are offering a beautiful morning prayer. And it's by Zoom, and you'll find the Zoom link on our website. We would love you to be a part of that. It is a great way to start your day, get a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, sit down, listen to the prayer, and ground into that intention that you have for that day. So that's wonderful, 7 a.m. But there are others we know that, including among the licensed practitioners, who are not morning people. And so they got their heads together and they decided, okay, once a week, we're going to begin offering a midweek meditation, a guided practice that's going to be on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. And so if you would like to join them for a 7 p.m. midweek meditation on Wednesdays, there's a Zoom link for that as well, and you can join them. Wonderful way to kind of wind down from your day, from the week so far, reset your intention, and move forward out of that beauty. So they're doing that. It's a wonderful thing. And also this week, we have a couple of things coming up that you may want to be involved in. Next Sunday, our men's group will be meeting via Zoom. And if you would like the link for that, you can certainly email the men's group coordinator. His name is Philip Flores, and his email is philintexas@gmail.com. Also this week, the Women's Circle is meeting this Friday, the 11th, from 6 to 7:15-ish, and we'd love to have you be a part of it. Bring a candle and something to light it with, and we're going to be doing a lovely practice that you'll be invited into, looking forward into the new year. So we hope you'll come and be a part of that. We have an open mic night, it's Zoom night next Sunday, the 13th, and it's going to go from 5:30 to 7. We'd love you to bring a reading, a poem you've written or a poem you love, perhaps a song that you would love to sing, and be part of just a sharing of community with our open mic night. That's going to be moderated by one of our licensed practitioners, Heidi Ruth Rigg. We hope you'll join her for that, 5:30. The link is on our website. Let's see what else I've got here. Oh, here's some more. So we have services coming up that we do traditionally at this time of year. One of our favorites in our community is the winter solstice service. And this year we're doing it via Zoom. And then we are going to have fires outside. I'm looking out the wonderful window doors of our sanctuary onto the upper meadow. We're going to have 2 fires going there, and if you would like to come, you certainly can. The service on Zoom begins at 7 p.m., and the Zoom link is available to you by going to our information at csl-bellingham.org, emailing that, and we'll send you the link. And then if you're interested, the service will be about 45 minutes, give or take. And then if you'd like to be up here masked, you can certainly come and be around the fire, which is a tradition we've been doing for a long time, and we'd love you to join us for that. We'll have some wonderful music, we'll have a bit of poetry, we'll have some prayer and a story, so we hope you'll join us on the 21st at 7 p.m. And then on Christmas Eve, the 24th, we have a wonderful live stream event happening. And just like this service, you can tune in and have a Christmas Eve celebration at 7 p.m. And there's going to be all sorts of things going on during that service. We hope you'll join us and be a part of that and make that part of your Christmas celebration. That's on the 24th of this month. And then for years, we've been doing the healing meditation that is a global meditation around the world, and we're inviting you to come into the Zoom room for that meditation at 4 a.m., which is our time in the global clock, and participate in a healing practice. We'd love you to be there. If you'd like the link for that, email the center office at info@csl-bellingham.org. And then I am doing a retreat on New Year's Day. It's something that I do quite often, and I'd love to invite you to be a part of it. The virtual retreat is going to be on Zoom, and because I have a lot of experience with Zoom, and maybe you do too, I know that I can't sit on Zoom all the day long. It's too taxing. So this retreat is broken up into different pieces and parts, and we'd love you to be a part of all of it, because that makes the breakout rooms more rich and meaningful. So if you're going to sign up, please sign up for all of it. The only optional piece is we're going to be doing spiritual practice from 8 to 8:30 in the morning. You don't have to be part of that if you don't want. But the rest of it, make a commitment to be there. And if you'd like to sign up, you can definitely do that. Contact the office, and we'll be sending you a bring list later this month. All of these things we need. If you need the link or you need to register, we're asking you to register or get the link before the 23rd of the month. So by noon on the 22nd, all registrations for the retreat need to be in, as well as any Zoom links you might need. Please request that before noon on the 22nd. Thank you for that. Okay, I think that's enough for you right now. Thank you for joining us. And I'm going to turn you over to Amber to take us out on a wonderful note of music.
Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love, power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. We don't know what's coming, we can help shape what's ahead. With kindness as our currency, the commonwealth is in our hands. So give a little on, give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Sing it out now. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Listen up now, people, keep your ear to the ground. We are a river flowing, generosity abounds. So give a little on, give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Here we go. Ooh. I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Here we go, sing it out now. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love, power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. You all have a wonderful week, and we will see you all again soon.